From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
On today's show, Shaggy will be performing at this year's CFL Awards in Niagara Falls, and I give you all the details on Mr. Boombastic coming to town. We hear from three more Ticats Award winners, Stavros Katsantonis, Taylor Powell, and Brandon Revenberg, and Coach O speaks about some of those award winners and their impact on the team this season. It's Thursday, October 26, 2023, and you're listening to Ticats Today. Yesterday, the Ticats announced their award winners that will now be voted on by the rest of the East Division voters to see who will represent the East in that all-star voting and to try and win some of these CFL awards. We heard from MOP Tim White, most defensive player Simone Lawrence, top special teams player Tyreek McAllister, but other award winners included Rookie of the Year for the Ticats Taylor Powell, and I mean, what a rookie season he's had for the Cats this year. A huge part of turning the season around for the team when he stepped in and took over the offense. Stavros Katsantonis was your top Canadian for the team, and that's another guy you could almost argue was the top defensive player as well for the Ticats. We had a lot of guys who could have been in that category, but he had an excellent season. Then, of course, Brandon Revenberg, who's been a consistent member of the Ticats O-line game after game. And today, Coach O touched on some of those guys and achieving those awards.
I think consistency and Revenberg go together. I mean, he's tough as this, and he's been, I can't even remember when he got inserted in the starting lineup years back. And, you hear about making a draft pick and, oh, that's a 10-year guy. That's kind of the saying, but it doesn't always happen. Well, here's a tangible example of a guy that's been extremely durable, great teammate, works hard, I can't say enough great things. Teammates love him. He's in early, stays late, does all the little things nobody sees, and then he produces on the field. And the other thing that makes him great is he's hard on himself, right? Nobody plays perfect. Nobody's played the perfect game, coached the perfect game. But he's one of those guys that's always striving to be the best version of himself. Yeah, he hasn't played center, but he could play center. Yeah. He like you said, he popped out to tackle and played there, and obviously he's been a main stalwart there at guard. So he's a versatile player. It's not too big for him. He doesn't back down from any challenge. He'll do whatever it takes, for the team, and not as a statement, but just as something that he embodies and something that he's lived. And fortunate for Rev is he had some great linemen that he could learn from when he first entered, and now he is that guy that people are looking at and saying, okay, how is this guy staying in the league? How is he so consistent? What does he do well? So that right there helps the whole O-line and raises the water level for everybody. So his versatility is another piece to his consistency.
And then Stavros Katsantonis comes into this season and really has a breakout year, but what can you say about him and being nominated as the most outstanding Canadian?
The same things that I said earlier as he was inserted into the starting lineup, that he's always been faithful with what he's been given. So, for example, his special teams role in the past, he just produced and took those roles and made the most of it. And then he earned his way onto a dime and a nickel package and produced there. Was thrust into some starting roles in some big games down the stretch due to injury, and he produced there. And then due to an injury again, he got an opportunity. And we just recognized that there was value to have him and Tunde on the field at the same time, and then that gave him more opportunity. So I can just say that you talk about being ready for your opportunity when it presents itself, and then when it comes, do you seize that moment? And that's what he's done. So I'm really not surprised because I see the work he puts in.
Finally, Taylor Powell, what can you say about the poise he conducted himself with this season and coming in as a rookie and to be able to conduct himself the way he did this year?
Yeah, with Taylor, it'd be the same thing that I had echoed earlier in the season. Just things weren't too big for him. He prepared. He was in early. Everybody always wanted to know what changed. What changed now that he's the starter and that sort of thing. And nothing changed. He was in early. He stayed late. He wanted to get better. He was a sponge. He soaked things up. He's a natural leader in the huddle. He wants to be great. He's hard on himself. Yeah, I think the big thing is I think that's what we do a good job of here is we don't worry about other teams. We do what's best for our football team. And so what's best for our football team is to get Bo out there playing a little bit. Those, again, I don't speak for the other teams, but we need to get some gelling and get some things that we want to see. Maybe there's advancements in some play calling, some checks, and just a little bit more continuity there. So I think it's important for us. Like this game's perfect for us. This is exactly what we need for where we're at right now. So depending on how much he plays and whatnot, we're looking forward to this opportunity to get better as a football team. I have high expectations. I think, and that's not in a sit-down statement, that's a build-up, and what do you embody? What do you emphasize every day in your team meetings? What do you say to them on the side? So I'm proud of them, for sure, for understanding how to battle through adversity. But for some of them, they don't know any different. They're just hearing the play call and they run out of the huddle. That's the reality of it, and they're worried about doing their job. But it is different cadence, different chemistry with receivers, different play calls due to the quarterback. Those things do change, and so we do have our base stuff, but then we had the change at coordinator, so that brought about change. And I just it just makes me smile because we're just kind of built for this, and because we prepare for these type of things. But your I guess preparedness, if you will, gets tested. Your foundation gets tested when it actually happens versus talking about it. So yeah, you can say I'm proud and pleased, but I'm not surprised.
That was Coach O. Taylor Powell winning Rookie of the Year for Ticats fans really comes as no surprise when you look at what he's been able to do this season as a rookie. It's pretty impressive. Let's not forget his first pass of his career was a touchdown pass to Tim White against the Edmonton Elks way back in Week 6. It feels like so long ago, Week 6. But coming into that game after Matt Schultz went down with injury, and then he went on to start 8 more games for the Ticats, finishing the season with 2,177 yards and 10 touchdown passes, had 2 crucial victories over BC and Winnipeg. Those were massive. They came a long way in helping this team get some confidence as the season went on. So not bad for a guy who was playing college ball last year at Eastern Michigan. When Bo returned from injury, he sang a lot of praises to the rookie and what he was able to accomplish in his absence. And today, Taylor spoke about achieving the award of the team's top rookie.
I was kind of not I didn't really understand what the award was when I first heard about it. But no, man, it's a testament to our team and to the coaches and the other quarterbacks and just everybody on offense, man. It's been a wild year, and it's cool to see something pay off. So,
given the season that you've had heading into training camp, I remember I talked to you in one of your first days here, but did you expect that you would have a season like this and really to get thrown right into it and have the year that you have?
To be frank with you, I try not to really live with expectations. I know that might sound kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I think it frees me as a player and as a person that you kind of just take life by the horns and you kind of just go day by day, and whatever happens is just supposed to happen, and you just kind of do it. So for me to be like, oh, I did not expect to play this year, I mean, I don't know, man. I just kind of showed up every day and just kind of attacked it.
You kind of came out of the gates flying. You throw that touchdown pass to Tim White in Edmonton. You really threw yourself into the deep end of the pool, and really it looked like you didn't look back from there. You were poised all season long. But do you feel you grew throughout this season, both as a professional player and as a person in general in Hamilton?
Yeah, totally. I'm definitely a better player than I was whenever I had to go in and against Edmonton. From my first start, just totally the improvements I've made, just having Scott and having the other quarterbacks to help me it's been cool to see. You can tangibly see it, but it just makes me want to keep getting better, and I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and just going to come with time.
You, Matt, and Bo have gotten very close throughout this season. You see you guys together all the time, always working together. But what has that relationship been like with those guys, and how much have they helped you grow throughout this year?
Yeah, I think I'm really lucky to come into a situation where I got 2, veterans in front of me. I think Matt's one of the smartest quarterbacks I've ever been around, and Bo's obviously a Hall of Famer. So it's kind of like a rookie quarterback's dream to have those guys to look up to and bounce ideas off of and just learn from. So definitely thankful for them.
Transitioning to the professional game this season, what did you notice that was different, or what took a little getting used to, if anything?
Yeah, I think it just comes with reps, everything, man. You just gotta. It's hard to get better if you're not doing something, right? So you just got to do it, and you get better, and your body and your brain figure it out, and it just becomes natural.
heading into the playoffs, this team is looking great heading into this final stretch here. You got Montreal, but what does this team need to keep in mind? I know you're a rookie quarterback and you're a rookie player, but what does this team kind of need to think about heading into the playoffs here?
I think we need to take care of business on Saturday first and use that to propel ourselves into playoffs. I think that's really it, man. There's not really much to talk about other than that.
That was your most outstanding rookie for the Hamilton Ticats this season, Taylor Powell. Stavros Katsantonis has had a tremendous season. He currently sits second in the league in interceptions with 5, tied for first among all Canadian players, and he also has 2 sacks and 1 touchdown. Katsantonis was voted top Canadian player for the team, and this was really the breakout season for Stavros he was looking for. He was able to get out of that waiting room at the start of the season and really didn't turn back. He was given the opportunity to step up, and he did. A few Canadians on this roster deserve an honorable mention, I think. Brandon Revenberg, who was voted the top O-lineman, could have been one of those top Canadians or could have been the top Canadian. Keandre Smith has had a solid season. Coulterwood Manzi, tons of Canadian talent, but this vote was unanimous. So the only unanimous vote out of all these awards for Stavros Katsantonis. And today he spoke about receiving the award as the most outstanding Canadian player.
Yeah, definitely a blessing. Got to thank, obviously, God starting off first. Stayed faithful, even before the season, and he's definitely sent me through some trials and tribulations, but just staying faithful, making sure I'm prayed up every day. That's been the first one, but continuing on from that, coaching staff has done an outstanding job preparing me each week. Got to give a hats off to Coach O, Coach Wash, Coach Melvin, Coach Ross, Coach Tolliver, all those guys, just all the behind the scenes work that doesn't get seen. They're putting in a lot of hours for us. Our training staff, treatment staff, even down to our strength conditioning coach, Coach Bowman, who every morning shot me about a decent amount of jugs balls each morning. So gotta give a hats off to him. And then obviously just my teammates have a whole bunch of great guys around me, both offensively, defensively, and couldn't be more appreciative of their support through the ups, the downs, and just very thankful for those guys around me.
What can you say about the progression you've been able to make this season and to be able to be such an impact player on this Ticats secondary and at the safety position?
Being able to be on the field is definitely a start. That's been a helpful thing this season. But I think just the preparation obviously is a big deal, and then just this team drafted me for a reason. They saw something, and just executing what they saw and following through on that on my part. So just doing what I do out there.
There's been a lot of moving pieces on that secondary, a lot of injuries throughout the season, but how has that affected you and the performance of this defense?
Football is a game where guys go down and can go down on any play. So the old saying is you're always one play away from being the starter. So I haven't really taken too much effect on that end in terms of guys being in and out. I think, like I said, we got a lot of guys that are just prepared each week to be the starter. So, that's not just me. I guess my production this week isn't just a product of just what I do. It's what we all do in the defensive room, offensive room. The guys have just been able to come in. Everyone has their growing pains. Everyone has, plays that they miss. Wish they could add back, myself included. But each time these guys rise back up, and definitely the good outweighs the bad. So just proud of all those guys that have stepped up, and been able to make plays out there. Yeah, I think at any level, patience is a key thing, and I think in just life, patience is a huge deal. Just being able to know that things are going to work out. There's light at the end of the tunnel, especially in this league where it's different from college or university, where everyone's kind of coming as the same player. Everyone's a university scholarship guy or walk-on guy, and things usually settle different when you're at that level. But when you get up to the pros, there's a lot of different factors that go in. You're getting paid. Coaches are getting paid, obviously. A lot of people are affected by just the movement of one person. So I think for me, it's just been a lot of just understanding that my time's coming. Obviously, coming from my rookie year, where you're coming into a COVID year, and just a whole lot of, it's more than just
you're just a rookie. There's rookie, there's restrictions, there's this, there's that. But just being able to know that, that's an uncontrollable factor, and just controlling the things that you can control. Showing up to work, whether that's early or late, that's up to you at the end of the day. So I've just, on my end, I've just been more on the end of just knowing that it's the good things are going to come, and just trusting in my work ethic and my play on the field at the end of the day.
One final question, but where were you and how did you find out when you won the award?
I think I was actually sitting next to Tunde in the locker room. Our lockers are next to each other, and I was scrolling through Twitter. Probably should be a little bit less social media, but at this point, that's a tough thing to stay off of. But I just saw the nominations for each team was released, and just checked that out. Saw my name was on there. Definitely an honor to be represented as Canadians everywhere. I know it's a little bit different for me just being born and raised in the States, but still being proud to wear that maple leaf. Whether it's here in the U.S. It's always been a thing that I've been proud to wear, and Canada's held a special place in my heart since I came up here. I think in 2015. Obviously, had been back previous to that, just having family up here, but to officially, quote unquote, move here for university, and then to be able to play in the CFL. Especially as a kid, that wasn't my, I guess, dream. I didn't know about the CFL growing up really much, other than kind of what my dad had told me, and then kind of having that realization in university that could be a possibility was definitely something I was striving for and working hard for, and just going out there to prove that Canadians can play and can hang with the best. I mean, you got a lot of tension when it comes to the ratio for sure, but I think any of the most outstanding Canadians from any of the teams could easily be a most outstanding player on their team or most outstanding defensive player or special teams player. So. I think I wear that definitely with honor, just to prove that we got guys that can play and play with the best. So yeah, definitely proud, and hope maybe that'll carry over into some Olympics nods here in a couple of years.
That was Stavros Katsantonis, your most outstanding Canadian player for the Hamilton Ticats this season. Brandon Revenberg has been another outstanding Canadian and received his third straight Ticats Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman award, and that will be his fourth for his career. And Rev makes it clear he doesn't pay much attention to the awards. He's a pretty selfless guy, as most of those guys on the O-line are when it comes to getting individual recognition, but he deserves it. Having another great season, another healthy season at a position that, well, let's face it, isn't exactly easy to stay healthy on, but that O-line has been excellent, and he's constantly been on the PFF's top-graded players list throughout the season. He spoke today about winning the award and focusing on the games ahead.
I mean, it's definitely an honor to get nominated for that, but I wouldn't have the success I've had on the field without the rest of the guys in that room. So I give them a lot of thanks to them as well.
What can you say about your ability to stay consistent and stay healthy this season and be that impact all season long?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we have a crew of guys where we're here late. I mean, we're watching film together. We're communicating on what our points are going to be for every game. We stay after, we roll out, we stretch, we're making sure we're getting lifts. We do a lot of that stuff together, and it's been a blast. I love the room that we got, and that's definitely contributed to that.
You and the rest of that O-line, you're always with each other on the field and practicing, but you have a close relationship off the field. How much does that help towards how close you guys are on the field when you're playing in the game?
I think it's huge, right? I know these guys. I know what their motivations are. I know their strengths, their weaknesses. They know mine as well. We always play for each other. We're always looking out for each other, and we want each other to be the best that we can possibly be.
There's been a lot of moving parts on that O-line. A lot of guys have come in. A lot of guys have been injured. But what can you say about your ability to stay consistent even with these moving pieces coming in and out of the line?
Yeah, I mean, like you kind of touched on, and I did briefly, is that we're together often. We're always talking. We know what's going to happen. If a guy goes down, it's next man up, right? And he's been in the room watching film, communicating, talking with us, going through everything. So the expectation is when he goes out there, he's going to perform at the highest level as well.
Whenever you have a game like this, and it's not a meaningless game, everyone wants to win this game, but how do you approach a game like this, especially before the playoffs, playing the same team?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going out there to win, right? So that's what the focus is. We're going to prepare for that. It's an important game because it's the next game for us.
That was the most outstanding offensive lineman, Brandon Revenberg. Congrats to him and the rest of the award winners for the Ticats. And now we will see how they do in this Eastern Division voting. We learned yesterday some pretty big news. It came out of Winnipeg. The MOP, the last 2 seasons, Zach Collaros will not be in the running this year because Winnipeg voters voted for Brady Oliveira as the most outstanding player for the team. So the award's up for grabs. We will see a new MOP, and there will be a new MOP crowned this year. Who knows? Maybe it'll be one of those Ticats that we've talked to the last couple of days. And speaking of the CFL Awards, there was a huge announcement today. The Canadian Football League and the 2023 Grey Cup Festival announced that 2-time Grammy Award-winning reggae artist Shaggy, that's right, Mr. Boombastic, it wasn't me, so many hits this guy has, will take part in the CFL Awards and will perform on the OLG stage at Falls View Casino in Niagara Falls on Thursday, November 16th. His concert will follow the CFL Awards, which honors the top players in the Canadian Football League. All these guys we've been talking to these last couple of days have a potential of being at this award show, and it'll be taking place earlier in the evening at the Avalon Theater at the Falls View. So football fans who hold a ticket to the CFL Awards will also get lower bowl access to Shaggy's show. Tickets to the CFL Awards are starting at $139, and they're on sale now. A limited number of VIP floor tickets are available for the CFL Awards, and they can be purchased online. So Shaggy fans who want to attend the concert but don't want to attend the awards, they can get tickets starting on Saturday, October 28th at 11 o'clock Eastern Time by going online. Pre-sale access will be available later today for all Grey Cup ticket holders and Tiger Cats season seat holders who will receive instructions via email. Shaggy is the only diamond-selling dancehall artist in history and has sold more than 40 million albums to date, in addition to landing 8 singles on the Billboard 100 and 7 albums on the Billboard 200. So the guy's an absolute superstar. I mean, who doesn't know Shaggy? But the news doesn't stop there. It was also revealed today that comedian K. Trevor Wilson will join Kate Burness to host the CFL Awards. K. Trevor Wilson's best known for his gentle giant character, Squirrely Dan, on the award-winning Crave original series Letterkenny, but he's also done a ton of other stuff. He's a big comedian. He's a hilarious guy. So it's going to be awesome to see him hosting the awards. This year's awards will also feature an unprecedented collection of CFL and Tiger Cats legends involved in the award show and attending the Shaggy concert. So it's going to be a great time. Everyone's looking forward to this. But another big announcement. They keep coming, man, and I can't wait for this big night. That's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for listening to Ticats Today.